Hey guys, LegoMaster1378 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys another Avatar MOC scene. This is one that I am calling Evasion, and it is a pretty simple MOC. There's really not a whole lot to it, and even less so when you realize that this is the same base, the exact same base that I used in my Star Wars MOC that I did a week or two ago. So there's really not a whole lot new here. Even all the figures I had before, it's just that the main reason I created this scene was to experiment with a new technique. I can't really call it building technique because it doesn't really involve building anything, but yeah. So this, if you haven't noticed already, features what some people like to call a flexible fig. As you can see here, this MOC basically represents Lee, who is my main protagonist in my custom fanfiction series, which I've been basing a lot of my MOCs around, who is basically right here evading several shadow assassins, which is again a made-up faction for my own fanfiction storyline that I don't really have that much backstory fleshed out, but it doesn't really matter in this. It's basically just they attack him, he flips, I guess you could say. As you can see here, he's jumping backwards over top this main shadow assassin with the axe, probably to land somewhere around here and dispatch the other ones. So yeah, so fairly simple. As you can see here, he is being supported by a column of clear studs, and believe it or not, that is actually pretty much all of my loose clear studs that I have. So I'm lucky that it just managed to be just enough to get the right position for this figure. And apart from that, like I said, these shadow assassins are not new. The Lee figure is not new, although the technique that I'm using to put him in this position is. So basically, I'm going to do a separate video on this sort of flexible fig technique in the future sometime, hopefully soon. But he basically has his arms, which are being held in there by a white elastic. That is actually an official elastic that the LEGO group did put out. I'll link to the Bricklink page in the description if you want to see it and see what sets and what colors it appears in. So yeah, as you can see here, he's just wielding two Brick Arms Dao swords, and like I said, he is flipping over the shadow assassin, sort of performing a mid-air backwards somersault. So yeah, like I said, those arms are held in there with an elastic, and I think it really does give him a much more dynamic or dramatic pose. And I haven't really figured out the really right position, or what could be considered the front of this scene. I'd say this is pretty good. However, this position right here hides the clear studs a bit more, although I don't think you really see the figures that much. And I think that this one overall just looks better. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. There's really not a whole lot to this scene. As I said, I still like it. I think it's a pretty good scene, and lots of my Avatar vignettes, I guess you could call them, are made sort of to experiment with various things. In this case, it was experimenting with a new figure posing technique, which I think worked out pretty well. I'll probably be using flexible figs, quote unquote, in the future, and this was just a situation where I really felt that it could be useful, because even in the original The Last Airbender TV series, there are a lot of these sorts of acrobatic moves that could be represented with this technique in LEGO. So yeah, you'll hopefully be seeing more Avatar scenes in the future, and more scenes featuring this flexible figure, I'm calling it, which is a term that some members of the LEGO community have used. You'll see that in a couple more scenes, and be on the lookout for a more in-depth tutorial and look at this technique in the future. So, bye guys.